Good evening and welcome to the third episode of Your Questions, Dr. Lamba's Response. I think most of our people are agitated about either India or Canada, and justifiably so. The first question is from Vikas Mehta from Toronto. His question is identical to a question which is agitating the minds of all the people. And he writes that in India we have people like Rahul Gandhi, Mamta, Kalu, Mulayam and his son, and a long list of the people. And it goes on to say that should the Indian army not agitate or throw these people away while defending the country. In fact, when you defend the country, you are ensuring that these people continue to exploit India. And should army not tell these people to get lost? In other words, he is asking the question whether the army should intervene, stage a coup, and have a military rule in India. Well, let me be very clear that coups by the army are never a welcome thing. They perpetuate dictatorship. And once uniform people have a lust for power that can never end. What started in Pakistan with Iskandar Mirza, Ayub Khan and others has destroyed that country. Look at the history of the world. Wherever army rule has come in, the result has been a disaster. Luckily, Indian army is absolutely apolitical. Apolitical means keeps equidistant. Whether the government is by the Congress party or by combination of the opposition parties or by BJP, history has shown that in the last 73 years, army has been absolutely neutral and has not interfered. And that's perfectly justified. As a matter of fact, in any democratic country, the supremacy should be of the civilian leadership. Good or bad is something different. Corrupt or honest is something different. Well, you make laws. You create systems which make people honest. If Chidambaram can be hauled up, why can't Mamta be hauled up? Why can't Mulayam be hauled up? Why can't Mayawati be hauled up? Why can't Sonia Gandhi be hauled up? And when I say these people, I mean anybody. If you give CBI full autonomy to intervene and CVC the full autonomy, they should not be the creatures of the government. They should not have to toe the line of the government. You can be sure that there will be no problem and country would not suffer. But then choosing a preferring army rule is like killing yourself, killing all your freedom, killing all your initiative, killing all your systems, and perpetuating power in the hands of select few. It will be oligarchy. The top commanders of the army and the leaders, and is never a happy sign. The second question that has come is from Jagmeet Singh from Brampton. Now, I am sure that this Jagmeet Singh is not the leader of NDP. It must be somebody else. Anyway, Jagmeet asked a question relating to what I said in the morning about Pakistan collaborating with some Khalistani elements and then having a joint foe against India. And then that has been seen today itself, when on 15th of August there were demonstrations against India. A number of Sikhs were in those demonstrations and they had their placards, Khalistani forces want justice. Even today, when the High Commissioner's residence and the office were ransacked, there were a lot of stone throwing on the Indian High Commission today. There were a smattering of Khalistani elements. Now, Jagmeet asked a question, what should the normal Sikhs do? The ordinary Sikhs, the Sikhs who have no Khalistani affiliation should come up and say, no, this is not done. They shouldn't forget the dictum of Gobind Singh, who said, Sura so pehchaniye jo lade deen ke hi. And deen for him meant the faith, not the religion. Faith for the country. Faith is a patriotism. For the sake of the country, he sacrificed his father, his 4 sons, his entire life. So he was a lover of the country, and the same Sikhs should follow that line. As a matter of fact, betrayal and treason has been a part of the Indian history. Whether it was Vibhishan in Ramayana who betrayed Ravan, whether it was Jayachand, whether it was Mir Jafar, history is full of these traitors. But Sikh history is no exception. Gobind Singh was betrayed by the 46 whom they called Chali Muktida. Later on they apologized, but they did betray him in Chamkaur. That's a fact. Maharaja Ranjit Singh, Raja Dhyan Singh betrayed him, and thereby Hari Singh Nalwa was killed. Sandhavali and Maharani Jind Kaur betrayed Sikh forces and plotted with the Britishers. And in the Second World War, the Sikhs lost because of the betrayal of one Pahara Singh. So betrayal has been there everywhere, and it would be everywhere. And these Khalistanis are betraying the traditions of Sikhism by siding with the enemy of the country, which they should not do. And as a matter of fact, if I was to be actually involved, I would start a petition. A petition saying that we do not want to have any affiliation with Khalistan. And that petition should be sent to the President of the General Assembly of United Nations, telling them all those people who pose to be Khalistanis are not really Khalistanis. They are a few self-seeking political hacks. Nothing more, nothing less. It is up to you people to rise up and see that your country is not betrayed. It is up to you people that you uphold the great tradition of Sikh religion of upholding the dignity and the freedom of your country. India would not have been India what it is today but for Gobind Singh's sacrifice. And these Khalistanis have forgotten that. This is the unfortunate aspect. And then it's up to you. But if you're quiet, if you keep silent, then of course it's your fault. The next question is by Navdeep Bagga from Brampton. What's your opinion about Bank of Canada interest rate going to be low again, looking recession ahead? As a matter of fact, decision has been taken. There'll be no change in the rates, interest rates. I think the news will come tomorrow. But today evening, the decision was taken at about 5:30. But some other measures are going to be adopted so that the result of recession are not disasters. There'll be no change in the interest rate, but certain fiscal measures are being adopted, and what those fiscal measures are, you'll come to know through the news media tomorrow. And if you don't know, then you can ask a question again on Friday and I'll answer it. But recession is definitely around the corner. That's undeniable. However, interest rates would not be altered. So, Navdeep, I think your question is answered. And the fourth question is by Madeline Levy, and she is from Montreal. Madeline says that she noticed an advertisement today in Quebec of Jagmeet Singh of NDP, in which he is not wearing the turban. Actually, Jagmeet has released a Twitter. His hair are flowing down, and if it was a bag, maybe you'll consider it to be a young lady. But Jagmeet, with his flowing hair, is in that tweet, and in fact is protesting against the Quebec religious laws. And she says that Jagmeet has always been saying that turban is an essential part and we cannot appear in public without turban. How is it that he has appeared in an advertisement which has been released internationally in the shape of a Twitter? Is it not a betrayal of religion? Well, Madeline, no. Sikh religion nowhere says that you must tie a turban. It's only the people who take sacrament, the Sikhs, what they call Amrita, the nectar, and that is sacrament, is a process of baptism, are supposed to wear a turban. And even they need not tie a turban all the time. Then turban can be of various nature. It can be just half a meter kerchief, scarf you can bind around your head. The way you have seen Indian Air Force Chief B.S. Dhanoa wore it when he flew a sortie yesterday with Abhinandan. You might have seen some Sikhs wearing a round turban, some Sikhs wearing a turban like me. Actually, this style of turban was first worn by Maharaja Sher Singh. That was the first time. Before that, they just used to wrap around it. So there are various styles of turban, and then they, of course, take bath as well. So hair would be flowing. But then what Jagmeet has done is politicalize this issue. As a matter of fact, religion and politics should have nothing in common. There should be a complete divorce in the church and the state. But then Jagmeet is following the traditional route of all politicians who will adopt any means, any channels to put forward their point of view. And he thought that maybe if he lets his flowing hair speak for him, people might think that the law is wrong. But then if we talk logically, if he can have long flowing hair without a turban in a tweet, why not in ordinary course of life? You can argue that way as well. So this is a double-edged sword or a double-edged argument. What Jagmeet wanted to say is not really in consonance with what he wants to say. But then that's what happens when your thoughts and your ideas are confused, which are there in NDP leadership. So these were the 4 questions, friends, for today. And I'm sure that you like them. We meet in the next episode on Friday. And I hope there'll be more number of questions. I'll be happy to remove all your doubts, clarify anything that you want to ask. Look forward to see you on Friday, same time. Thank you.